today. And, you know, what I'm learning from this situation is I do believe that you all did your best to get this process in order. And I am hearing repeatedly and repeatedly that the bottom line here is CMS is responsible for this failure. And I just, you know, on behalf of your companies, you have the opportunity to throw them right under the bus as far as I'm concerned. And we will get that information, I'm sure. Ms. Campbell, I need to know, the American people need to know, how many people are enrolled, how many individuals are now enrolled in health care coverage from the website?
So I'm not able to provide that information.
You are not able, or you do not have that information?
I don't have it with me,
Okay.
and I'd have to have approval from CMS to be able to provide that information.
Now, to that point, one, I'm going to ask you to please submit that by 9 a.m. tomorrow. But I do want to point something out, and I understand where you're coming from. I know you have a contract. I know CGI has a contract. All of you have had a contract with CMS. But you have to understand, CMS is a government agency. We oversee CMS, and CMS is the American people. So when we're talking about contracts here, that's really who we're talking about. We are talking about the American people. CMS is not a private company somewhere in the United States. They represent the American people, and we've got to get to the bottom of these issues. So yes, we do need those numbers by 9 a.m. tomorrow. Mr. Lau, on that, how many paper applications have been completed up to this time?
Somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000.
3,000 and 4,000.
Yes.
Okay. To that point, now the president on Monday in the Rose Garden gave a speech, and because of the glitches, I call them gaffes. They're much bigger than glitches, I believe. Glitches are little hiccups, and these are much more than hiccups. He referred to the 1-800 number and urged the American people to call the call center and to go through, you know, the hard copy process essentially, or the paper process. To that point, now, Ms. Campbell, do you know that process? What happens if someone calls the 1-800 number? Where do they go? Where are they directed? And how does that process lay out? And I know you have to be brief because I do only have 2 minutes.
Right. Actually, it's a question that goes to CERCO.
Okay, then that's fine. So you, to the best of your knowledge, you would not have knowledge of that at this point.
No, not at once.
Once it becomes a paper or hard copy.
Correct.
Mr. Lau, what is the process?
For paper, for receipt of paper.
Mm-hmm.
So
if someone calls a 1-800 number and they...
we don't operate the call center.
Okay, but
Someone
you...
else.
Okay.
The call center people, as I understand it, directly key enter the application to the extent people are willing to give that over the phone.
Where do they go from there? Are they going to the same portal system?
Correct.
So they are going to the same
Yeah.
portal system, the same failed portal system.
It's the same portal.
It is.
Yes.
So what would be the average time then? And now I know you had mentioned about 3,000 applications being completed up to this point. So there are individuals, my understanding would be, that have gone onto that site and they are still waiting to find out if they've been accepted or any further information. Is that correct?
To which site?
Well, if someone called and there was a paper application processed or started, initiated.
Right. I only know roughly how it works. I'm
Okay.
not familiar with
Sure.
the data on that. We don't really
Okay.
connect. I
But
can only answer for
To the best of your knowledge, because the portal system, which is the same portal system that this entire process goes through, and because it is experiencing the failures that it is, those individuals would, to your best assumption, would continue to be waiting.
I'm not certain about that because
Okay.
once they're entered into the system, then it's system processing
Okay.
that determine the length of time
Okay.
before which they would hear
But we
back.
can assume that since only 3,000 have been processed fully, that it's a minimal number when you think about the grand scheme.
That from the paper
Okay,
side,
thank
that's
you.
exactly right.
And Ms. Campbell, I just want to touch on one last thing. I know you had said that you had gone through the process. Did you actually complete yourself, when you went through the process yourself individually, did you complete it?
I did not. I'm not signing up for insurance. My company provides insurance.
But
for my company.
when you tested it yourself, I mean, my understanding is earlier you had said that you had actually tried it through the Virginia system, went to the website, and that you did or you did not complete it.
I did not complete the
You
application.
did not? Okay, thank you. Thank you, and I yield back the remainder of my time. Thank you.
Gentleman from